We was beating up each other. It was very funny.
Finally, payback time. Did you find your inner peace with the German Federation?
The best team in history, in my opinion, is.
Ball across the Dylan Nahi, double in flight. Oh, what a start!
Into the net.
She does it again.
Yes, and Magdeburg are the champions of Europe. To come up with something here. What a game! Across the keeper. What a comeback!
And off we go into a new week of talking handball, and I'm almost intimidated by all those hosts that we have in here today, because among the three of us, we have 6 Champions League titles in the hosts. And on one hand, I gotta introduce her as the new Martin. She's the Martin replacement for this week, and the woman who invented ending your career on your peak because she stepped back as the Champions League winner. Anja Althaus, nice to have you here.
Thank you. I'm so happy and honored to be here with you guys.
And of course, on the other side, we do have him. We all know and love him. The man who should have a statue in front of the Palau Blaugrana. I'm sure that it will come eventually. Víctor, Tomàs, nice to see you.
Hello, nice to see you. I think that today we have the upgraded Martin. You know? It's an upgrade.
It's the upgraded Martin. It's the better German and female version of Martin. Can we agree on that?
Yeah, of course, much better.
Much better. Sorry, we don't start this discussion.
Yeah.
Or Martin and me, we had like this situation like in the Final Four. We had some really fun moments. So I'm pretty sure that I win this battle and that I was much higher.
What kind of discussion or competition did you guys have?
I don't know if people can remember. It was actually very funny that when we were swapping between the studios when we had games, and there was a moment like when Martin say, "Oh my goodness, now we see Anja even on the big screen in the hall," and I say, "Well, you cannot get rid of me. It's not possible." So it's like Anja is just everywhere. So it was actually like some really funny. I think this is like the world what we also inside where we're enjoying to. This work, what we are doing, which I'm actually not considering as a work, I think this is a pleasure to speak about handball and to having just fun while we are doing this. So, but of course, I still think I'm the queen.
Rightly so. But talking about handball stuff, it never really ended for you, did it?
No, not really. And I really hope it will never end because I'm so happy to be in this amazing handball world. I call it really like a amazing world because I think it's a big honor to be here inside. And even if I'm still trying to figuring out my roles because I'm jumping my roles. I was like a handball player. Then I became like I had the great honor to start for the EHF to work to make first as an ambassador. And we started this on the social media, and they just give me the microphone in the hand and say, just do. I mean, when I start to speak, I never stop. So this was perfect, actually.
That's good for a podcast.
Perfect, yeah, for sure. I mean, there was some situation, but actually also to find your new role, it's not easy to stop. I would not say that this was the most easy part because like my whole life, I was the player. You was used that somebody's telling you when to do, what to do, when to eat, when to go to toilet, and after you stop and you need to find your new role. It's really not easy. But I'm happy that I had the great opportunities.
This is actually a topic and something we speak about with every retired player, you know, to organize yourself, your time, because we spoke with Duda last week. We also spoke with Jesper Nodesbo 3-4 weeks ago, that this is something really difficult when we always have been told where to go, when to do it. That's actually very difficult. I'm a wasting time machine now, you know.
But it's good for us because you're flexible with your podcast hours. So we love that.
I am. Yes.
Was that hard for you, Anja?
In the beginning, I thought it was like this great vacation time where everything you're going, you're traveling, and then when the season started, I started to feel like, okay, I was waiting that somebody's telling me what to do. And then also like shortly after COVID started. And I felt lonely, to be very honest. I felt very lonely. And suddenly this groups, this Viber groups, WhatsApp groups, or whatever. You was not there inside, and where it was easy just to connect. And suddenly I felt in the town where I was living now for so many years, I felt that I don't know nobody, and I had to go with normal people, like to connect with, like to find new friends, because all the handball friends actually left from here, from Skopje. And then I figured out that, like, in some talks like this, I will call it now, maybe it's just a little bit strange, but typical woman talks, I was not really good in. And so, and maybe this was just like I make it up in my head, but I felt like I was kind of in a little depression, and especially also when this was in the COVID time, I struggled. To be honest, I struggled. But then also when everything started again, and with the game starting, working with the EHF and everything, this for sure it saved my ass.
But on the other hand, you never really needed a break from handball, did you? Because as I was preparing for this episode, I read a little bit about your life, and basically it all started almost in the handball arena because your mom was a line player too, and then you just probably were taken into the handball arena when you were just 3 days old or something in that direction. And yeah, everyone in your family played handball, and you started playing handball immediately, tried out other stuff, and now that you're retired, instantly you started with handball again. Didn't you ever need a break?
No, I think when I had break, I feel not completed. I think this is like the world I belongs. I was like, I have 2 other jobs which I learned. You have, like, in Germany, you have the system when you go out of school, either you go to study or you're learning like this, learning by doing. I don't know how this word's called in English. So my mom told me when I go out of Magdeburg, I go with 17.5, and she say, like, you need to finish something, because I'm not a study person. I cannot sit very quiet for a long time. It's not my strongest side. I'm talking all the time, and I needed to do something. And I was when I was a kid, more as a boy, so I was with my dad all the time in his basement and working and doing so. And I started to make some job, for the commercial, like this Leitreklamas, how to build it from the scratch. So I finished this. So I was in a normal working world. And after I became a hairdresser, which was also cool, because, like, all the time when we had, like, competitions like Euros, World Champions, or Olympic Games, I always had to work. When all others was resting and sleeping, I mostly needed to work and to cut hairs. But even there, I don't have a need, or I don't want to go in a normal world. And I think I just want to stay in this amazing handball world and giving things back, which I was lucky to receive. Good times, bad times, but this experience, and I want to give it back in all possible roles where I'm inside right now. I'm happy to be part of so many different roles, actually, like that I'm ambassador for the EHF Respect Their Talent, to work with young kids, that I'm for the EHF for the social media, to have the opportunity with speaking with you guys and to making these great shows. Have the honor to be with Víctor also on the gala, which is stepping out of comfort zone all the time, but also to be in the role of a coach and starting these things, because I'm coach as well. So I'm in all facets what is right now in the handball world. I'm having my nose inside. I'm trying still to figuring out where I belong, for sure.
Yeah, especially talking about the Excellence Awards. I remember you running around just with the shiny eyes, because you were just, oh, wow, there's a star here. Oh, look here. Oh, look here. Oh, wow, cool. And you knew everybody, and you had questions ready for everybody. Was that the peak life moment for you?
I think this is just like in the middle of universe of this handball world. I mean, this is, I think, the great thing. To have the honor, and I really must say this Excellent Awards, this was just amazing. I think it was a statement from the EHF, and I really hope that we will have this every year, because I think this can be the Oscars of the handball. And Víctor, and you saw it. I think this is the great moment where we can come together and also celebrate this amazing people which we are having, the players who are playing now, and I hope that there will come much more in the next time, but also to see all this amazing legend what we have, where I was just like, who was my idol, like, and also that when I played together with them, or had the opportunity, or just saw them in TV, and now to interview them, I think it was it was amazing, and I don't need to prepare myself. I'm not so good with preparation things. It comes just like a waterfall, so it's just there.
Yeah, I have to say that this gala I think was amazing. I think for the it was the first time ever to celebrate this gala, and I think this has the potential to be like a Ballon d'Or in handball. That's my opinion. I think that the EHF they did an amazing job. It was a very good idea to open a Hall of Fame of handball players, and as Anja said, she and me, we are both in the Hall of Fame, but at least I speak for myself. I don't consider myself a legend, and to be walking around there, seeing a lot of players that I have played with, and a lot of legends that I have looked up to when I was a kid, it was amazing feeling. And to have the chance to co-host the gala with Anja and Marcus, it was, as she said, stepping out of the comfort zone. But I think we did a pretty decent job, and yeah, it was really, really fun.
I have a question for both of you. What was more important and more? What did you guys enjoy more, being nominated for the Hall of Fame or moderating this whole gala?
I have a
Victor?
clear answer. For
Okay,
me,
go ahead.
being nominated for the Hall of Fame. But
Oh, actually,
yeah, but it's all when you make for the first time something, you get nervous. And for me, as I said, it was something special being in front of such an important audience, and also a lot of the people who might be watching on Twitch, on internet. It was a responsibility, and I felt it. But actually, after 5 minutes, when we started the gala, the nominations and everything, I think everything flow, and I had fun.
how about you, Anja?
Well, I just can agree. Actually, like I think the Hall of Fame to nominate. I think it's a big honor, and I think this is something where you work like your whole career for, and sometimes it's my opinion. Sometimes you have, especially as a pivot, if you're not like Heidi Lücke or like really outstanding, but you're working here as of a lot of time, and it's just like a lot of credit goes all the time to the back players who scores like I don't know how many goals, or like also as a defense players. And I'm very honored as a defense players to get in the Hall of Fame, because there's a lot of work which don't get, in my opinion, the most credit. But also now in this time, if you don't have a good defense, you will not win nothing. And I think to get the credit for that, where you're working really hard, because also like from my opinion, it's like the defense player, it's like how much you're willing to work hard in the defense. Everybody can play defense. I'm not agreeing with a lot of coaches that some player cannot play defense. For me, it's this like also which stamp you get on the head, and also how much you're willing, how hard you want to work. And to get the credit for that, and to get called in the Hall of Fame for the best defense player, I was very honored. And of course, this was something where I was like very proud of. But of course, mostly I also was proud to get the call to be together with Víctor and Marcus co-host of this event, to get this trust from the EHF, and to stay there and to be on the first excellent gala at all on the stage, and trust us to make this on a high level. This show, I think. It's both very honored, where I was proud of, where I cannot even say, wow, this was this or this was this, but for sure, for my career, the Hall of Fame, yes.
For EHF, they knew what they were getting with you, because they already knew how you worked. But with me, it was a big question mark. Okay, what this guy is gonna do?
Yeah, but actually, you guys did a great job.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. But even if you are used to make these things in front of the camera, it's something different if you're standing on a stage in front of people. I had before I stepped on the first time on the stage now in the EHF gala, I had some short experience with some summits, which I was like the host there. But this is still a different work and a different way of speaking and presenting yourself, and to lead through a gala. This also the first time I did. And I must say, this is Victor. I hope it's okay if I'm saying this, but for example, this was also the difference between Victor and me. Like we had this preparation, and I was actually everything was so chaos before because we didn't had so much time. It was like the time just fly away. I had to go to makeup, to make hair and everything, and we got this, this cards. And Victor, he prepared everything well, and I cut it and everything, and he
I
make
prepared
my
all
cards.
your cards.
Exactly. And in the end, when he finished his card, I was like, I don't need this card.
But let's scroll a little back because there had to be something happening for you to stand up there to be nominated for the Hall of Fame. Let's go all the way back to the not just the beginning of your career, but to the beginning of your handball life. Because as I already said it, you are the daughter of a line player already. What's your first handball memory? What's the first thing that you recall when you think back as a child? What you, either saw first or what you did first? So did you watch something on TV or is your first memory playing yourself?
No, my first memory is seeing my mom playing, actually. Because after I got born, I think after I got born, she took me in the trainings. They had I called them to the end all the time mother and old woman team. There was actually a lot of good players from the old East part in Germany. So there was some who played actually on a higher level. And they had this team where they just stayed twice a week, where they stay just in the shape, where they train, where they had fun together, it was really great. And even they had still some power inside. And when I got born, my mom, she took me there in the hall immediately. So I was running like you see for probably also Victor's kids now when they got born, when the dad was playing, like when my mom was playing after I came on the field and was running there. So I think this is the first. And then the first actually what I can remember, when I was 5, my parents signed me up for the mini handball in SC Magdeburg. And I started to join this team. And actually with these girls, which I we started to go the whole way. And of course, in the beginning, some of the kids goes in and out, but the main part of this girls, we stay together and we go until the A youth. I don't know how to say. We go the whole team together. So this is my first handball thing, and that I broke my arm when I was waiting to go in the training. I think this is also something which I remember.
When you were waiting to go into the training.
Yes, because I was too early, so we was like typical kids, and I think my second or third training, and I was so proud because in Germany it was I think maybe you listened this before, it was like if you had the key from home, you was the key kid, so you can do everything by yourself, and I was a key kid and I could my parents trusted me to go to make things by myself. And I go to training, I was sitting there and I was like typical kid, and I was the most time of my youth or being a kid, I was in hospitals because when somebody tell me don't do this, I did it and I got hurt. So and there was I was sitting on some fans and I was putting my feet inside and I lost the balance and I pulled down, so I could not go to training. I always injured myself where I could not go to trainings, and so I was a little bit retarded what this means to listen. I was not a good listening kid.
So. How old were you when that happened? Was that when you were 24?
No, this is still not changed actually. Sometimes I'm still not listening. So it's no, this will happen. I think I was 6 or 7, but I say, I was all the time in the hospital. Even when my mom got to work for the first time again after she born me, she bring me the first time in the kindergarten, and she say to this woman, please take care, this kid is a little bit crazy, she is all the time moving like crazy and wants to go out. And this woman say, yeah, don't worry. And then I think my mom just started to work and she got a call, she needs to come because I fell out of this car, of this baby car, so, and I was just I think 2 years old or 3 years old. Maybe it explains a little bit, but I'm not so sure about this.
Was that when you decided I either want to become a handball player or a Formula 1 driver?
Oh, Formula 1 was when I saw my dad driving. My mom had from the very few beginning, she needs to sit in the back, and I was sitting in front, and I was staring my dad how he was driving. So, and he was big fan of Formula 1, so I was all the time watching with him. Like I say, I was not this typical girl. I was not playing with Barbies. If I played with Barbies, I just cut the hair and put them away. So
The
I
hair
was more
or the
like a
head?
boy. The hair, the hair, the hair.
Okay.
Something that inspired you as well for your future.
Okay.
Somehow it came after, yeah. Everything
Okay.
comes a little bit back. The Formula One driver still didn't make anything. I was invited once by the DTM, so I was driving. I was the guest, and it was very cool. But I figured out I'm too tall for this because I didn't fit in any cars inside of them. So, but I was a guest. It was very interesting. But
Yeah, it's actually
Also,
like that.
I'm too tall as well for something.
Wow, we finally
Okay.
found something that you were too tall for.
Yes.
But it's actually crazy how small the Formula One drivers are all the time, right? They are around 170, 1 meters and 70 centimeters, and they are all super
Yes.
lightweight as well. So it comes fast that you do get a little too tall for that. But anyways, you decided for handball, and growing up, you did play with some big names who turned out to be some of the best to play the game. Just to name some, Christoph Teuerkauf, Bennett Wiegert. How did that influence your playing style growing up with these kind of players?
I must say, like the way how I grew up and in this handball world, I think this is the best. If I can wish or somebody recommend like the way to do this, it's the best feeling ever. I think we trained every morning together. I was on the sports school in Magdeburg, and we was actually all the time together. Like the boys had on the one side training and the girls on the other side, and we played also often against each other, or had like, like kind of you're growing up together. And also like before the national team, we have this from the part of the Germany where you go in this selection, and we went really all stages together. And of course you're like, you're a part of this also from the men's, because boys are different, like also now when I'm coach, I'm seeing the girls when they come in the hall, they're stretching, they maybe make some other games, but the boys comes immediately. They see this goal and they see the ball and poof, and making like this trainings with the trick shoots and everything. It's boys are really, really much different, and I think to grow up together, it's just a blessed, I think, from the mentalities also, and from the mindset, and to see them also now the way how they're making their way in all different way of roles. It feels like family, and I'm very proud of them, and especially also to see Bennett how he make his way. I'm very proud, and also Toya. I mean, I don't even know if Toya. Sorry if I'm not allowed to say this, but we all the time had this inside joke, like we say, like he was in German, it's pivot is like Kreisläufer, so he's Kreis Ingo and I'm Kreis Inge. So I don't even know when this started actually, but I think it is family, and I think it's given me a lot for stepping up and to become a much better handball player if you're having a competition in the trainings with boys.
You're giving me all the smooth transitions, because talking about training, talking about family, you did have the opportunity to train against your mom as well. How was that? Did that ever cause trouble, family internally?
We was beating up each other. It was very funny.
Finally, payback time.
Yeah, actually, yes, it was very funny. It's like our coach, because he created some friendly matches. I think we was on the way for the German for the German title in our age, and then we play against them. But because they make more with experience, and for us young players, it was really interesting because we just come with speed. And so when I came, because my mom, she was playing more dirty, she had more experience, and I was like more was fast and more powerful. It was very funny. Like we never was angry for each other, but sometimes like when she beat me, like I was like, wow, like what's going on? I'm your daughter, but you get forced to step out and to get better and to find solution. Even I mean, when I was 16, I played I signed the contract and I go in the second Bundesliga in Magdeburg. And there I played together with my aunt. She was goalkeeper. And, but still there, if you come as a young player and you play against experienced women, and especially as a pivot, I remember my first game, it was a second game, it was against some old Russian experienced player. what she has done with me on this pivot, this was not normal. Seriously, like since there, I never wear a bra which you can open behind. You know, like I learned a lot of lessons in this time because this woman, she made me crazy. I lost my focus completely on the game, and this was also in the beginning. My mom, she did like teach me some things where you're just like, you know, when you're a kid, you're getting angry and you lose your energy and everything. So it was a great lesson actually. But even then, this old experienced Russian player, what she have done to me, in the end, I needed to put tape around this thing because 3 times in the game I ran outside because she opened this, you know, like, and after she opened this, she makes some other things on me. 60 minutes, I did not know what I was doing, but only fighting with this woman. So it was a lot of lecture. So, and also with my mom, it was just lecture.
Have you got other topics than handball in your family?
Difficult. My mom, she loves to, especially my mom, she's really into handball. And to be very honest, this was when I stopped my career now. It was sometimes a little bit annoying because I didn't want to talk about handball. I mean, I'm in the handball world, but sometimes I don't want to talk all the time. But she's like updated about everything, really everything. Like she comes with, this is happening there, this is happening there. And sometimes if I'm not really updated, I'm calling her and she tell me like things which I didn't even know. So, and when I stopped, and especially where I had the down period of myself, where it was a little bit annoying, and I say to her, "Can we speak about something else?" Well, the problem was I did not know what I have to talk with her. So, but I also needed to learn to be a part of a family. I think the biggest part, what I needed to learn for myself when I stopped, is to become a part of my family, because I was 2 times in the year, mostly I was home. I never got invitations anymore for birthdays, for weddings, for something. So, and also to communicate with family, this was the biggest challenge. But now we find also some other topics, but just like life topics, because like life also step inside after handball, which is like in negative ways, in positive ways, the way you find, and also the health way. But yeah. My mom is more into handball sometimes than me.
Now that you have spoke a little bit about your beginnings in handball, you've been in many countries playing. You started your career in Germany in a team that I'm not brave enough to say the name.
Go for it. Go for it.
Come on. Say it. Say it.
Nieder Dodeleven.
It's all right. It's all right.
That's
Nieden
Dodeleven. Okay. Okay. You as a German player, Germany is arguably the biggest handball country in the world. I think that countries like France, Denmark are quite close, and I think that without a doubt, men's Bundesliga is the biggest league in the world. What do you think is missing in women Bundesliga to be at the same level of France, of Denmark? I think the Romanian league is harder. Maybe even Hungarian league is harder.
Yeah,
what do you think is
agree.
missing there in Germany? Because you are a handball nation.
Yeah, we are, but something I don't know from where to start actually to speak about this, where it might be start maybe like from the maybe you start on the national team, that actually over the years we had always amazing players. Germany always had like some amazing players, but to reach the high level of medals or the ranking, we never did. It's all the time something happened. If you're asking me now, I think Germans are hard workers. We are like horses. We are going. But somehow we had it all the time a little bit difficult to have the winner mentality. I'm calling like this, I think, like this culture, for example, the Norwegians have, like the small country, which is amazing to see, but they have a winning culture. I think they have a different culture, how they are living, how they are seeing, how they are confident about themselves. And I think like Germans don't have this in their blood. We are just kind of workers. We're having amazing players, but something didn't work really well in the national teams. We had some good moments, then again some bad moments over the years, and I think that's why it's also like problem for the league that is not really, you don't have the focus in Germany. If you don't have the focus from the media, you have like football, football, football. Okay, then you have handball, men handball, and then after a while you will have women handball. And if you don't have the focus in Germany, it's very difficult to be something. Even if you're seeing like women football, they win so many medals, and even there, I mean, they're on the higher level, but not in the way where they, in my opinion, belongs there. And then we come also to the topic where I think like women and men, even if we have this discussion many times, where women still not get respected as well, like the work what they are done. And sometimes now, if you're seeing women players, they have a much harder way. They're going on work because the money is not the same in the league in Germany, for example, like in the men's league, but they're still doing the same job done. Coming back to your response, I think it's difficult. I think the Germans need more success in the national team to build something up. In my opinion, you cannot build up a league and the national team in the same time. This is the same topic what we're having right now in Macedonia. When they asked me to join, I asked what you want. Either you want a strong national team or you want a strong league. If you want a strong league, either you need to find a good sponsor or someone from Saudi Arabia who comes with a lot of money, I don't know, to put money there and to invest, because then you need foreign players, or you send your players outside in the top clubs where right now are the top clubs to get develop them. So, and I think the German league, it's good for young talents. It's strong, it's good, but you cannot stay so long inside. To change it, I don't have a recipe. I think if I will have, I will try to solve it for Germany.
You actually played in a club in Thuringen that it's in the last decade, let's say, or more. It's like a team that amazing players are going through Thuringen. They are building their personality. Thuringen is building them as a players, and then these players, they jump to a top teams in Europe. So yeah, I would say that maybe it's a league like that. For what you are explaining, I think it's something similar happening in Spain. I would say it's a much deeper problem. I think it's cultural problem, because when in the media you cannot see handball at all, women, let's say, because in Spain it's men and women. If men are in a bad situation, media speaking, women, it's even worse. So I for what you are saying, I have the feeling that it's also a cultural problem. You need more space in the media.
For sure. I mean, I now with the new channel, I'm seeing that they're trying. They're putting more women handball, and I really hope this will have some success, because in the end, it's all like a circle. You know, like you can only have success if you have money, because like, and if you to get sponsors, you need also more media. You know, like then, and this is everything hangs together. So now, if this new channel didn't really put a little bit more effort inside to show women, maybe that's possible to get also for the clubs for the league on in total, to get more sponsors, to invest more, to make the players more professional, to get maybe also some more stronger players coming to Germany to take the level higher up. So, I mean, it's great to see, like Thüringer was a great example, but also like in the moment now it's not that strong anymore like they have been, because the money is not the same anymore. Now Bietigheim, it's for years, they are really strong with the money. They had good starts, but not that big success. And now they're in the last, I would say 2 years, 3 years, they're on the really good way. Markus was making a very good job. But also you see they had a good start, but then something in the end was missing when the pressure came. So everything created a little bit the same what is happening to the German handball in the national team. Actually quite the same. You make a good job, you work good, but when it's really on the point where you need to be there, they was not there, you know. So, and now I'm really curious to see what's happened this season, because Bietigheim had the best start ever for a German team in the Champions League. And now they had this big defeat in Odense. I mean, Champions League is also, if you speak about Champions League women, what's going on right now, this is like roller coaster from so many ways and so interesting. But for me, it's interesting to see that if somebody find the right recipe what is the problem in the German teams when it comes on the point where you need to step over the point where the hard work is not good enough, where you need to be the killer and more to enjoy the word that you want to win, that you're ready for win. And I think this is kind of a little bit missing in Champions League and in the national team.
But is that something that you would actually be interested in working on? Because you just said it, you are working on those topics in North Macedonia, but you do have your German roots. We will talk about you and the German Federation in a bit, but would that be something for you to be keen to work on, to develop the female German handball?
Of course, in the end, I mean, I had my stories, and past is past. I worked up everything, and in the end, the person who I am seeing myself, like I said before, I want to give back a lot of things, and I want to create something where for out of my experience. I don't want to keep my experience for myself. And if I have the chance to help and to develop things, I would be more than happy to do this. And if it's for the Germans, of course, I was always proud to play for my national team. I was always very honored, and I was I was growing 10 centimeters higher when I was standing in front of the audience and hearing my national anthem. So of course, this is something which I would be happy to help. But right now, it's a situation that I'm living in Macedonia, and that the Macedonian Federation asked me to step in and to help, because also like here, even in this small country, which is so crazy for handball, there's also the same issues, Víctor, what we have spoke now before, this woman and man thing, like, and also here was the history that Sergei came in this time and put a lot of money and created Vardar Skopje, the woman team and the men's team. So of course the woman handball make a big boost, but the woman handball have in Skopje also big history. They won the Champions League in the Komitel time. So but since there nobody really pay attention. It's just like, yeah, this is the women's, So now they created for the men's. They created a more professional way. Kirill Lazarov came here. He make a good job. He bring like more professional insight. But my question was why we are not doing this for the women as well. When you're doing this once for the men's, why you're not doing this for the women's? And I know that there are some bad voices all the time that women handball is not the same like this. And I know that there was some players which was talking, I would call it ugly a little bit maybe, about women handball, which I really don't like, because for me, they are not the same. Of course, they are played in much, much different ways, but they have both their beauty. And this is something which you just have to point out, and also to make the audience, the people, to understand this is not the same. There's men, there's women, but this don't mean that women are bad. Women are amazing. They are powerful individuals. Just push them and support them, and not just, they don't belong just in the kitchen. So they are amazing from this, what they are doing. And this is what I'm trying to say. And also as an example, which I fight my way through, and especially also now in some men's world. So I try to step in the front. And if I'm doing this in Macedonia, or if I have in the future doing this in Germany, I would be happy to do this, because I would like to fight for the women handball as well.
Now that you have spoke a little bit about your experience, that you don't want to keep your experience for yourself, you've been in many countries in your career. You've been in Denmark, you've been in Macedonia, you've been in Germany, of course, where you started, and then you also were in Hungary. I don't think I'm missing any countries. Just correct me if I do.
No.
How all these experiences shaped your character? How to live? How the other countries are living handball? How did it shaped your character, your image,
on a big time.
This player Anja Althaus, as a player and also as a person, because in different countries people live differently in different cultures, so as a player and as a human being.
On a big time. I think I would not be the person who I am now if I would not have go the way through everything what I have done. just like as an example, when I go from Germany, my English was disaster. It was like the hell bad. It was really bad, and I came to a country, even if it's very close to Germany, but this was like, for me, it was China. It was far away. It was different. I didn't understand nothing. I had luck that I had two Germans there, Grit Jurak and Nora Reiche, and Grit already spoke Danish because she was playing there for a long time, so she translated. But in the end, it was stepping out of the comfort zone big time. And I came from Germany, where this town, I was owning the town where I was living in Germany. So I was like, I had my party life, I had handball, everything was going well. But then you come in the fully professional world, like we spoke before, like Germany, it's the league is good, but this was not on the high professional level. Just as an example, after some games in the German league, we went to McDonald's, without making commercial right now, but like you went there, and
or to any other fast food restaurant
or some other, like but like this was the way. And then you just came to Denmark, where everything was high professional. Like for me, it was like this was the girls didn't go out. Like you had like this amazing players like Lunde sisters, Bojana Popovic, Grit Jurak, all of them, and in a country where you don't understand nothing, it's just like everything was Chinese, and a coach who was from Sweden, and even if they force you to learn Danish, he spoke Swedish. This was, now I understand everything, but before it was like nothing. And I learned myself better. I did not know that how I will react, that I was crying the most of time. I enter in some situation where I never thought I will enter, and how I will react. I think this is the way where you get shaped, actually. And also, when I came from Germany, I was the top list of the red cards in 2 minutes. I was the queen of this in Germany. So, and when I came to Denmark, like because I was fighting, I was putting my energy to the referees. I was fighting with the opponents, and it was easy to put me out and to make my team actually weaker. And Denmark, the Danish mentality is very calm. Like, and focus and enjoy, and different than from how I have been. Calm was far away from me. So, and this was like, from this, I got shaped a lot. Like I had situations I will never forget, like Rikke Skov, she was amazing, a Danish player. She won the Olympic medals, and she was a very big player for the Danish national team. And I was fighting with her together in the middle defense, and I got angry in some game, and I was like fighting with the players, fighting with the referees, and she just in watch moment, she just watched me and say, "And now, what you can change? Can you focus and work with me?" And I was just like, yeah, you're right, So, and kind of there, the way how the mentality was, I changed actually. I become calm, even though I had like my
So
first year.
would you say that with all this mix of cultures, did Anja Althaus' character evolved during the years in something better?
For sure. I would not be, that open-minded and understandable how I am, like, and also see the situations from different kind of angles, to understand that things are not just like this way, like you see it. This have different angles to see it, and to be in some situation more calm and not just explode like a volcano, like I have been. It made me to a much bigger person. Yes, in all ways, in the way for handball, mostly of course for the handball play, but also I developed as a player, like the person Anja Althaus. Yes.
What would you say, which place where you have been were the fans the craziest?
Craziest? Oh.
Yeah, the craziest over handball, the craziest over your club that you played for.
I think, like, if you come in the Balkans.
But that's a tough fight between Győr and Vardar fans.
I honestly, when I got this question, I always want to say in first, there's also a culture, difference, like you have even the Danish mentality, it's different, and the Germans, the way how the fans are, and they are on their way, they are also great, and it's a big honor to play, and the way how they are treating you as a player. Of course, like the Győr fans, this is something very, very special. I mean, this love and this what you feel, but also like the way how they're coming when they see you in the town, like it's incredible. You're really just like, wow. And also, but the way of supporting and doing the game also, it's incredible. But the Balkans, like in Macedonia, this is something completely different. I mean, they're standing like the grandchild, the grandma, the mom, the husband, and whatever, the whole family, and they are all like, the grandma is the loudest one from all of them probably, like, and they are all just all in, and you can feel the proudness. I think I could say it. I think in here, I feel the most really the proud that you are playing for the club here, and that they are so proud that you as a German also came here. I cannot make a list about this because I have in all where I played, I have amazing stories, and I have I took them in my heart, and all of them have a big piece in my heart, the way how the fans are. But it is everywhere. It's just a spectacle. So, and I think for sure it's a spectacle in Győr, and it was a spectacle here in Skopje for sure.
Yeah, most definitely. But then, well, let's stay in Győr. Let's stay in Győr for your career step there, because you were actually already retired for 2 days, but then there was a phone call coming in. Where have you been when that phone call came?
I sit in a restaurant. I was sitting in a restaurant. It was a little bit more than 2 days, but yeah, it came really out of nothing, and it was, actually what I say you before, the proudness of the fans, because I know that I choose to live in Macedonia, and I know how here, if they felt like you as a treater, I was kind of a little bit afraid for this, but in the end, I was also like thinking, I felt like, I know that I didn't have to do nothing bad to Vara, because in the end, my story with Vara was also like, they choose not to continue with me. I would like to stay, but in the end, I was not passing their insight, and kind of I got the feeling like I'm too old, and it was not passing anymore really good together, even though I really would like to stay and to keep fighting here to bring the Champions League title to Skopje. But this was like actually my first thought, like, oh my goodness, how they will kill me. I was thinking like, oh my God, they will kill me if I'm going to Győr. But of course, if you got the call of Győr, I was flashed. I was like, oh my goodness, this is the best club you can ever get the call. I was playing in the best clubs in the world, but Győr is the cherry on the top. So, and of course, you're not just saying, nah, I don't want this. So,
when they called you, when they called you, did you have this person who called you? Did you have her phone saved on your agenda in the phone, or it was just a number on the screen?
No, it was just a number.
So you didn't know. You didn't know who was calling.
No, it was actually an agent who called me. Like, it was a different agent, not my agent, because I didn't have an agent. I kicked my agent in this time.
Oh my God, agents.
And
they are the worst in the business, especially nowadays.
So there is actually like he became after, and I actually would like to met him before, because I was sad that I didn't met this agent before, because I didn't have a good story with my agent in this time. And so I got a call from him, and I did not know the number. So, and I was just like, yeah, hi, picking up, and I was just like, I think like to make me speechless, it's take a little bit. So I did not know what to say. And then actually shortly, and then I actually, after that, I had a call with Ambros, and I know Ambros, and I told him in the beginning, honestly, I say, I don't know if my body can hold this to go in the normal league modus again, because in Skopje, we never had a league modus, that you're having Wednesday game, weekend game, Champions League. I was afraid for that, if my body can still hold this, because here it was perfect, like we only prepare for the Champions League, and this league in Macedonia was not really strong. We didn't play it, so I was afraid for this, and I had an open talk with Ambros about this, and he say, we will take care of you. I was say, okay, well, then I will come.
How long did you have to think about it?
I think if I'm completely honest, I inside I was super excited, and beside this thoughts what I had, because I was more afraid if I'm not ready. And I don't know, I was, maybe this sounds stupid, but I always was afraid to not find the right point to stop my career. That people say, she needs to stop, she's not good enough anymore, so, and that's why I was all the time like I want to be on the top and to reach the right point to stop. And maybe this sounds totally stupid, but this was kind of important for me. I don't know why.
Sounds
And
like
I was
people on
like,
the internet.
yes, actually, but it was really like this. And I was afraid that I cannot really, what I just said, that this league things, that I'm not, because now my body was used 3 years like to just prepare for the Champions League. I had enough time to recover for making my fitness exercises, and for sure WADA prolong my career. Before I was broken, my body was wasted. All my career I had like Champions League and national team. You never had break. You had injuries, but you keep going. And my body for sure told me like, I don't like you at all. My shoulder didn't like me. My knees didn't like me. My fingers didn't like me. Nobody from my body liked me actually. But when I came to Skopje, I had for the first time, I had time to recover everything, to make the right fitness training to recover my body. And we had great coaches here. I was working with Maria in this time, and I actually got a extra boost because of this decision. And to going then to a club where you go back to this, I was kind of a little bit afraid for this, but it was the best decision in my life.
Yeah, you couldn't finish in a better way your career than with winning a Champions League. And honestly, I really envy you for that, because the end of my career was not as good as yours. But now that you have mentioned the national team, did you ever renounce? Did you ever say no to the national team when they called?
No,
No.
I was
Then
not called from one.
why in Germany, especially men? Yeah, we are mostly speaking about women handball, but I know that you follow men handball as well. What is happening? Why players say no to the national team? Because it's something I always think about, because of course they play let's say 95% of the players called by the national team coach, they play in the Bundesliga. Yes, the hardest liga in the world. But always going to the national team, to the big tournaments, to Euros, to World Championships, to Olympic Games, is the peak of a player. It's the place where every, let's say, body is looking at you. Why do they
Thanks, I
say
need to
no?
cut that out again.
Beep.
Why they say no? I can't understand.
Mindira, to be very honest, I don't understand it. In my case, just to respond to you, I never got. I never said that I stopped, and I never got the explanation. Actually, like I just didn't exist from one day to the another. I was living in another country, and I just didn't get a call anymore. And for sure, this was heartbreaking, because like everything what you just say, I completely agree. I think it's a big honor to play for the national team. It's a big honor to have your flag on the chest and on your heart, and to present your country. And I mean, I understand for your question for the men's. I understand that the Bundesliga is very hard. I mean, especially if you're playing Champions League, and everything what I explained to you before, that my body was wasted and didn't like me. It's even worse for the Bundesliga and men, because they have so many games. And also if you're a national team player, and then also if you're a father, have a family, and if you're having injuries, probably there comes maybe the decision to say no to the national team. But even there, I never understood it, because I'm a big fighter for the national team, and to have this big proudness of me.
But
I don't know.
for me, it's more strange when there is a lot of Scandinavian players playing in the Bundesliga, Norwegian, Danish, Swedish players playing there, and they all go to the national team and they play the same league. So it's actually,
Yeah.
I really hope that someday in this podcast we can find the person that it gives us an answer that it's making me sleep better at night, because
I f-
so far I can't understand.
I think if I can tell you a little bit of my impression about when I'm living now in this country like Macedonia, where I'm saying what I'm feeling here is the proudness, and the proudness of theirs play and the country. So where I'm sometimes saying, and maybe some people are laughing about this, where I'm saying like the Germans can learn a little bit more to be more proud of their country, and I think this is also something which is about the respect about the national team, like, and about your country. I think this goes a little bit longer, even way back to the history. We are not that proud. When you see your flag, for example, here you're seeing the Macedonian flag. You see everywhere. People, when the anthem is coming in the hall, everybody is smashing this out of their soul completely. And in Germany, it was many years not like this. There was actually events like the football World Cup, or like also the German the handball European Cups, where people started to be more in the games. For example, just today I was really happy to listen today when they play against Egypt. They had like in Munich this game today where I listened the people, the fans, listen singing the anthem more and more and more. And I think this is something which having to do also more with proudness, and maybe this is also something what the players maybe this is a little bit leaking, to feel the proudness and to go over the body, like the Scandinavians, like the Balkans. If the national team if your country is calling, that you're going. Maybe it's a little bit more explanation.
Do you think it might have something to do with the media perception of German national teams in Germany as well? Because especially you have been talking about the football national team as well. We did have that as well, that some players refused to play for Germany there, because it always feels like there has to be someone responsible. There always has to be someone responsible for the loss, for being kicked out of the World Cup, for whatever. And especially in the German media, it always gets it's always the topic for a very long time. And is it like that in the other countries as well that you've played in?
No, I think like the most what I actually figure out when I go to Denmark, we have this phrase, the glass is half full or half empty. And actually I figure out that in the most countries the glass is half full. And in Germany I always felt like the glass is half
big.
empty. No, it's too big, but it's more like negative, like now when you're making this job, and if you're speaking, for example, like you can say if the opponent make a goal, you have the chance to say, oh my God, this was an amazing action. Next time they will step up. Or you're just saying this was a shit defense. And this is like half empty or half full. And I would say you are right with this what you're saying, because I think the pressure and the media, which comes from the circle all the time back, it's a big thing. And I think there's also some players where asking, when you are all the time doing this, why I should even get the shit on my head, and maybe it's also some part of satisfaction. I don't know if, or this, maybe these things, also if you're asking now some of the youth players, I think for me, the biggest goal was to the Olympic Games, I had all my goals, what I wanted to go. I wanted to win the Champions League. I wanted to go to Olympic. I wanted to become, in first place, a national team player. I wanted to play for my country. And I think this is where we're speaking about proudness and the goals. And if some players maybe are kind of satisfied now with this, because maybe they reached this and now it's just like, it's not worth enough anymore to go, So maybe you're right with this.
But actually, talking about the German national team, and we just had a little sneak peek into what happened, because you said you just weren't called anymore. But on the other hand, you did say that you worked everything up. And did you find your inner peace with the German Federation?
Yeah, last year.
What happened?
I had a conversation with the president. Actually, like last year was the Euro in the Women's Euro was in Macedonia, in Montenegro, and in Slovenia. and the Germans also came to Macedonia. And of course, I would say for many years it was easier for me to say I don't want to have nothing to do with Germany. This was like my way how I handled this over many years, this frustration and this not understanding what happened. And but still, like I also say, I growed and I stopped my career and I keep working. And I didn't need the German Federation in this way, but I keep working and making my job. And also when you asked me what I learned over the years when I go in different countries, I growed as a character also, and to see that some things are just maybe smaller or bigger than you. And in the end, I just sit down with him and with Mishaman, and we had a very nice talk actually. And maybe even before, I didn't even know that I finished this kind of, because I know I cannot change things. I can just do things better and maybe help them to not do these things to other players, and to also respect their players more, and to have this conversation. I'm an honest person. It was hurting me a lot, but for me, it was giving me also a lot of peace that somebody sit in front of me and having an honest talk. And it was very easy then to say, this thing is gone, we cannot change it, and I would do still everything for helping my country to do things better. And we're having good communications. What comes in the future, I don't know. I don't have my glass ball to say what will happen, but I make my peace with this.
So you are still rooting for the German national team, especially looking forward to January 2024 when we are looking at a home tournament in Germany. You will probably be there?
I will be there. In which role I will be there, I cannot tell you yet. Maybe I will not be completely
Top secret.
It's top secret. But I will be there for sure. And I'm, in the end, also what I have seen today, I'm really, really looking forward for the Euro. And I know how much the German Federation is working to create a really great Euro. And I think it will be a handball spectacle. And I cannot wait to start this, to see what will happen and to see the full halls. And also, like one of my former teammates, actually, she's working for the German Federation, and with her, we was roommates, and she's fighting there to create things. And actually, also she changed my mind a lot, and this is what I appreciate a lot. Like, be open-minded to listen also to other opinions, and sometimes you just need to swallow your ego and things what's happening, and to see the bigger picture.
Who is it?
And her name is Saskia Lang, and she was a former national player. She played also in Leipzig and was a great player, and working now for the federation. And she is fighting as hell. She's making a great job, and I'm really proud to see the way what she's doing there, and also that she find after the handball. And she had unfortunately also something with the injuries to making her way there. I'm very proud and happy to see the way how she's doing this.
What does it actually mean to be playing a tournament at home? Because we did talk about the players not wanting to play for Germany anymore and declining the offers to play for the national team. Will a tournament at home
for this one?
Sorry, say it again.
Not for this one.
Yeah, that's what I feel.
No, I'm sure that it will be no German player saying no to this tournament.
That's what I feel. Anja, would you agree?
Yes, I mean, but there it comes back why you say no when you're playing in the own country, but in the other time you're saying no. So Victor, I completely agree with you, and in my heart I don't understand it, because I would love to finish my career in the national team on a much better way, because I was proud to play for the national team, and it's a big honor, and to play about the whole world.
But just to finish with this saying no to the national team topic, this makes the job of the coach very difficult, because when a player is saying no more than one or twice, but it's actually a player that you think for the way that you understand and you see handball, it's a player that it might help you to win a tournament. Because Germany, let's be honest, if they would be in a full squad for the tournaments, they would be one of the candidates for every tournament. So if in the eyes of the coach, this player that is saying no more than once or twice is a player that it might help you to win a championship, do you have to call him again for the third or the fourth time? I don't know. But this is
To be
making
very
the
honest,
job of the coach of the Mannschaft very, very difficult.
Of the Mannschaft, I
for
like
sure. He become German.
It's good. It's good. We're having
Yeah.
our influence on him.
Yeah, but I have this topic also right now because, and in this case now to thinking a little bit also like a coach or somebody who wants to create something more. For me, it's more like the thing: do I need a player who is just like, he thinks he can choose and he belongs just in the national team because of course he's a good player, or do I choose and he will give everything when he wants during the championship, for example. And if something is not going like he wants, he will maybe say he's injured or he's not giving everything. Or do I choose someone who is really really proud and he will die on the field for the team, for everything, which I would choose. If you ask me if I would be coach right now, I would choose the second one, because there I know even maybe has not the high quality, but it's maybe bringing more as a team, because in the end we are a team sport and the team in the end wins and not just one single player.
Totally agree. But I am totally sure that in January we will see 7 players on the court that will absolutely be ready to die on the pitch for Germany. What do you expect from Germany in the Euros?
Well, I was watching now the 2 matches against Egypt, and I think German national team make a big change in the last years, because like there was a period of the men's team which I, to be honest, didn't enjoy really much to watch the playing of the team. But I think now they really find a good mix. Also, there comes a lot of young talents up, which just coming and put their stamp inside and are really fun to watch. And also the play style of Germany changed, and it's really interesting to watch. And I think we can expect some, if they can keep it up, also like with the pressure. I mean, it's amazing to play at home, but it's also a big pressure. And if you can handle this, and I must say, like, I'm really big fan of Alfred Gislason. And also there, it's like you have to speak like a person. If you saw all the interviews before, the way how he have been how he have been a coach, but now also invented himself in a different way, and also learn how with the new generation now to match up and to become a different coach. And even if he have the struggles, I think we can expect a lot from this team now. And I think Germany is a tournament team. And if they can do this, and I mean in Germany we are all speaking now from this miracle what happened in 2007. 2007 was? No, yeah,
2007,
I think in 2007.
2016.
Yes, exactly. So, and I think if they can jump on this wave, I think we can enjoy the men and the Germans for sure.
I was on the pitch on both, and I lost against Germany on both. You know, in quarterfinals in Germany, and in the final
Finger
in Poland.
in the wound.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I really expect Germany to be at least in the semifinals. But as you spoke about Alfred Gislason, I think he's amazing coach. All the players that have been with him, they speak well about him, and it would be a coach that I would really like to see how he is in an everyday basis. But with all that being said, I think that if he doesn't use all his squad during the tournament, which is something very typical from Scandinavian or German teams, that they use 8-9 players at the most. If he's not using all his players with the speed that handball is played at this moment, it will be difficult for them if they reach the semifinals to go through the semifinals and the final.
I need a hot take. Where will Germany end up at the Euros? Anja, you start.
Oof. Well, I'm actually like in the Champions League Final Fours. My picks was always right because I go with the underdogs. So,
All right, then now you
um,
will hear it where Germany will end up.
I
As a
would
German, you
say
can't say anything else than we
I
will
would
become
say
Euro
let's say
champions.
because I would say they end up in the final, and then everything is possible.
I need a number, 1 or 2.
Well, then we are speaking. We are going always for gold.
Alrighty, Victor, do you agree?
No, I disagree. I think they will be in the bronze medal.
So the third spot it will be for Germany.
Yeah.
I am torn in between going all the way through the final because I definitely see them going all the way to Cologne, going to the final weekend basically. But yeah, well then it's just one game. Everything can happen. But anyways, I am with Anja here. Germany is gonna take it home. Germany is they are gonna go all the way and write a new miracle because in Germany you always have that atmosphere rolling throughout the whole country whenever there's a tournament in our country, and it always just becomes a little bit magically, especially in the last years. There was always a little bit of a discussion, where can you even watch the matches, is anybody showing the tournaments, and for now they do have the media rights covered, and it will be shown on German national TV again. And when Germany starts to win, and when Germany gets the important wins, I'm especially looking at the third match of the group stage where they play against France, and if that will be a surprising win for Germany, then everything is possible.
For sure. I think also like, which is very important. I mean, to have the opening game and to make a record, it's also like kind of a little bit more pressure than even to playing in front of the in your own country. I think the most I think is how they start inside and how to handle the pressure, and also like how which players Alfred can take. Like I say, this is what I'm seeing right now from the team. What I have seen now against Egypt. There are a lot of great things, but also what you see, like what you say before. He needs to use the hall because they had big swings all the time inside, So, and I think this is like the tactical part will be a big thing. How to use the players, and of course now later on the wave of the emotions, if they can jump on this and to swim on this.
Absolutely.
But Bengt, you have to pray for them to lose at least one game before arriving to the final.
Why is that?
Because I don't remember a team winning 100% of the games in a tournament.
Then watch out for January.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
the best team in history, in my opinion, is France with Nicola Karabatic, Daniel
it's
Narcís,
Barcelona
Thierry
between
Omeyer,
2005 and
Luca
2020.
No, but let's just speak about national team. I think, in my opinion, this era of France, it's the best team in history. Fighting very close with Sweden, in the late 90s, early 2000. But I don't remember this best team of the history, this France, winning any championships, winning all the games. Maybe it's a lose, maybe it's a draw, but if you don't lose a game in one tournament, that's
You're
a
gonna
bad
lose the
sign.
final.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
like
maybe.
I don't know. Sorry, maybe I don't know how when you was player, when you go in the tournament, sometimes it's good to lose. Even if everything goes well, it's we had all the time saying, even if we don't make it on the high big, but for the Champions League, sometimes it's good to get to the right moment, like to be even more focused again, to go the whole way. I think you're right.
In Spain, we lost the final game of the group phase against Croatia when we played in 2013, the World Championship in Spain, and we ended up winning the championship. But we actually lost one game.
Yeah, totally. But we will see.
And beating Germany in quarterfinals. Sorry to say.
Well, it's all good. You did talk about your losses against Germany already. That's why we forgive you that. On the other hand, let's finish our national team talk. Let's get back to you a little bit, Anja. in January you said you didn't know what your midterm plans would be. Did that change since then?
I'm still going with the flow. I'm I'm like, of course, I consider myself still as a searching person, and I always say I really would like to have a project where I can give all my energy and creative insight and my knowledge, and to find myself. So I think now I still enjoy to be part of the EHF family. So I'm still love to make these things for the match of the weeks, and and like as a coach, I'm not part anymore of this club men's team, but I joined the national team of Macedonia for the women's side for now, and I had like a shortly going inside in the beach handball. Even it was like I became coach there, but it was a really cool adventure, and also to see what this beauty of a different world of handball can bring actually to the table in the handball world. So now I'm really proud to be part of the Macedonian Federation, and to having this project to push with my knowledge everything where I can help to bring a little bit more their insight, and I'm willing to doing these things and stepping inside where I get needed, and with the knowledge of the social media side, of the coach side. So I'm like everywhere, and I'm still considering myself as a searching person. I still don't know what happened after. This I'm still letting open, but for now I'm really happy to be a part there, and I hope that I will continue this, and what comes after, I don't know. Now I'm just watching for this.
How did that connection build up with North Macedonia?
Well, I'm living here, and also like, of course, I make my coach license, and then you enter in this world, and also like the federation. I guess like they had like for the woman side, this didn't had so much success, and also now I'm Duda is living here. You was talking with her last week, and actually like we are here all the time, and I think they asked us if we would like to help and to bring our knowledge on the table, and to make maybe some changes here, because I think it is time for making some changes here for especially for the women's side, which I say before, it's got a little bit forgotten, and Duda and me, we just stepped inside completely, and also, you know, what is the most what I'm seeing here is like changing. When you speak about mentality, no, it's not a big mentality. It's just like the believing, you know, like here nobody believe on the girls, and I actually see a lot of talents, and like here, I'm watching all the time games. I followed, of course, also the national team before, and I say here's possible something to do, and you just need to work a little bit different and to put different energy inside. And I'm actually really happy that they trust us and give us the possibility now to step inside. Even we are not a big experience as a coaches. I mean, I work now longer as a coach like Duda already did, but also that they trust us as a German and as a Brazilian to come in the Macedonian Federation. And we had the first meeting now, and it was really, really great, and I enjoyed it. And the most what I enjoyed was seeing girls smiling and enjoying playing handball. And I think there we already are on the good way. And also, of course, with winning, it's a good start.
Yeah, that's fair. What are your goals with the national team?
Well, now the goal is we are playing the qualification, and of course to make the qualification for the Euro. So this is the big goal for now, and then after we will keep speaking from the goal. But for now, it's like to go to make it to the qualification, and and in the future for sure building up a women handball in Macedonia to create a stronger national team and to compete. I think we need Macedonia. Macedonia is handball crazy in the handball world, and I think this country deserves to have both, and to have men and women handball in the national teams, and to having the fans in the hall and supporting handball.
Yeah.
I would like to ask you a little bit, now that we spoke a lot about your career, about national teams. I would like to ask you about Champions League women this season. Are you following? Of course, because you are doing this match of the week job with the EHF. how do you see the competition? Who are your favorites to make it to the Final Four?
I think this is right now. It's a big question. I think this season it's I don't even know how to call it. I mean, this is like a completely a roller coaster, and I think if you have the favorites from last year who change everything completely, for me this is the season where we had the biggest change of coaches. I think like where a lot of bigger teams change the coaches, which makes a lot of different influence. And if you're seeing like Vipers, who was the last years just like the top of the top, struggling the most, and are now number 5, I think, on the in the group, which is like a big surprise. Then you have like new teams who just came up, like ECAST, which just came like with a fresh head energy and are now number 1. So I think this is like the right now, this league, it's very fresh and refreshing, I think, for the women handball in many aspects, but also surprising. I think for me the biggest I don't know if it was the big surprise, but the moments that FDC, for example, had now the first win in the 6th rounds. I think this was like a quite crazy story to watch. Also like that Gabor, he was fighting for so many years and to make it to the Final Four. And then in the year where he make it, the club decides to change the coach and to take a coach and even have the bad start at ever in the Champions League. To have a favorite right now, I can continue like this. It's crazy to say. Bietigheim, it's amazing, but I'm interesting to see how this will continue now after after the first group phase. Which team will come out for sure? Gür have the team with the most experience, but have a new coach. So everything, you just take the cards or the cubes, you make, and this season is everything. It's everything is open. And I think this season we will have some surprise, for sure.
I don't know how she does it, but I ask her for 4 teams, for 4 teams, and she speaks for 15 minutes. That's amazing.
About every team, about all the 16 teams.
Anja,
this is my talent. Sorry, I cannot tell you 4 teams. I cannot tell you. It's not possible. Gür for sure.
Yes, you can. You have to say 4 teams.
Esberg, Gür. And now I cannot tell you more because this will be surprise. I think let's say I'm really rooting for that we will have a German team in the Final Four. I really would like to have a German team in the Final Four. Let's say that Jakob Westergaard make it to the Final Four this year. I really would like to have a little bit changing of this. I really would like to make the history step to having this year. Can you accept just like this if I'm saying this and not to tell you number 4?
No, because it's just one left. It's one left. And I think left. I know the name you're going to say.
I said Esberg, Gür, Bietigheim.
Tough one.
I'm not, to be very honest, I'm not sure that how Vipers will make it this season because they look not completely
She's
sure,
trying
but
to
maybe
dribble it already again.
Yes, I'm not good in this. To be very honest, I'm bad. Let's make it completely surprise. Say ECAST.
Is ECAST still so much of a surprise?
Yeah.
Especially after that start, since they just lost their first game. They're having 5 victories and only 1 loss, and they played the big names already, and they won against them. So would it still be such a surprise if ECAST made it to the Final Four weekend?
I think yes, because like I say also before, look like the last season there, the Bietigheim was the only one who beat both of them who end up in the final. But in the end, where they was, it's a
they
different.
Started
and
losing
also
after 1 defeat against Odense.
Exactly. This was not exactly. It was like when I had this match of the week now, Bietigheim Odense, and this was very interesting. And I was for me it was so curious, and I don't know why, but I had the feeling even before that they will lose it there, and Odense was rocking it. So, but still there, I don't know what this Champions League season is very long, and there when you come to the knockout games, you need to be on the point. This is the beauty on the Champions League, and there it's deciding if you're now right. And if you see Bietigheim, for example, they step up now for year to year. and maybe they are now on the point. But this is maybe just a wish for the German team.
Who will be MVP this season? Because we already had our predictions, so you gotta give your prediction right now.
Can I act now that I'm not hearing the question? I'm not hearing this.
I need one name.
Oh, I'm so bad in this. I'm trying to be the Switzerland in all of this all the time.
And that from the lady who just said, "Oh, all my predictions were right. I'm such a good guesser." And
No. Just for the men
You always
Champions League,
tell the
because, like,
truth.
yeah, it's just for the men Champions League, because kind of there the underdogs are always like in the last past the underdogs are coming and just rocking this. In the woman, it's a different story. For example, we had a talk with Martin in the Twitch show. Woman and men, it's different in the final four as underdog. Did I go away from your question?
yeah, you did, and that's why I'm coming back for it. I need a name.
Ah!
And let's say we need two names: MVP and top scorer.
You make the pressure even harder. When
Yeah,
we
but
finish this
you-
podcast now?
You have such a huge advantage for us because we predicted ahead of the first match day.
Yeah, but this still
My
didn't get better
predictions.
because
My predictions was Oftedal MVP, Noramork top scorer.
I went
no.
with Nora Merck as the MVP.
But this I cannot even say because for me, yeah.
Do you
I'm
want me-
not sure.
do you want me to-
Nora changed. Nora
you want
changed
me to
completely.
tell
her style.
you-
She's very.
Do you want me to tell you who are the top scorers at this moment? Do you want me to tell you?
Yes, because I'm not
Number
watching on the
one,
top
number
scorers always.
one, number 1 and 2, even with the same goals, it's 40 goals, is Sara Buktit from Metz and Anna Biahireva from Vipers. And third, well, let's say second with 39 goals is Ardal from Odense.
Yeah, she is playing good. That's true. Well, Vakieva will for sure be my MVP, but I just say that she don't go in the final four. This will be
Okay.
a problem.
Interesting, yeah.
But for sure, for me, she's incredible. Even though that she's until now not finding the right point in the team, because Vipers looks not so sharp right now in many ways. So let's say Oftendal is always a good pick because she's just amazing player. So she will be my MVP. And
Alright.
top scorer. And top scorer. If Bietigheim go, I would say, like, if I'm not wrong, Kudlach is very high of the top scorer list actually in the.
She's
in-
joined third.
Yes.
And if she continue like this, and she's playing mostly 60 minutes and having a lot of goals, making 7 meters, so she will be. If they go in the final four, Kudlach can be on the top of the top scorer list.
All right, we'll take that as a prediction. And that's where I would say we have been talking for 1.5 hours already. The time really flew. But I think we can cut it right here because Víctor will be very grateful for that, because the one question that I still have for him, and that is going to come back to you, what happened last week at Palau Blaugrana, where Barcelona...
I don't remember.
I'll give you time for next week to look that up again.
Yesterday.
Yeah, I'll give you time to look that up until next week, because we will have a guest who played in that match, and it will be a very, very interesting one, and there will be a lot of talks about that match especially. Barcelona never conceded more goals in the Machine Secret Age of Champions League. It's the joint negative record for Barca, and that's why I'm keen to look at that match and to work that up again. But yeah, for now, I think we did have a great time. I want to say thank you a lot, Anja. Thank you for the insights. Thank you for your honesty. And thank you for your time. It has been a great pleasure talking to you.
Thank you very much for having me. It was a pleasure to talk to you guys. Even if I never stop, I'm sorry for that.
All good. That's what a
Thank
podcast is
you.
made for.
Thank you to the upgraded Martin. I think you and me, Bengt, and also the viewers and listeners of the podcast will be very happy to have the upgraded Martin here with us for 1 week. And thank you so much, Anja.
Thank you very much. It was a pleasure to be here.
Sweet. And then we'll cut it right here. Thank you guys for tuning in, for watching and listening to us. And we will repeat that stuff next week on time once again with a great guest. Maybe with Martin once again. We need to double check on that. We might come back to Anja as well. But anyways, we will hear each other again next week when it's time to talk handball again.
Ball across to Dylan. He double in flight. Oh, what a start.
Ooh, into the net.
She does it again. Yes.
A nice to Berg on the